what do you think of when you hear the word ecosystem? Most people think of nature, maybe a jungle that contains plants, fungi, snakes, small mammals, birds, bacteria, and everything that requires a whole system to function on its own. All these organisms use each other to survive in different ways. They are independent and they rely on each other. That's what makes an ecosystem work. So, if you heard the word financial ecosystem, what would you think? The idea is the same. It's a collection of different people, organizations, processes, and systems that let us all buy and sell things, use money, save it, invest it, and everything else related to finance. Let's go one step further. Think about the words crypto financial ecosystem. It's a whole new field now. There may be some separate projects in the crypto world, but what it really needs is a nice ecosystem. Now, what does the Terra blockchain really mean? To put it simply, Terra is a proof-of-stake blockchain that aims to bring the best of crypto to the financial world by working on both making a stable coin and a system for processing large amounts of payments. Quickly, let me talk about how payments work. Next, we'll talk about the cool part, the automated stablecoin. To begin, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express don't do their jobs for free. As fees that the merchants pay to the credit card business, they take about 2% to 3% of every transaction that they help with. Now for us, this doesn't sound like a lot. But if everyone goes into a gas station and buys one bag of flaming hot Cheetos for $2, those fees really start to add up. Speaking of fees, we are currently charging a 0% fee for dropping a like on this video. Just a little reminder that helps the YouTube algorithm share our videos with more people and spread the knowledge we have to share about cryptocurrency ideas. Let's go back to the cash processor. The most important thing to know is that Terra only charges 1% in fees. In fact, fees are usually a lot less than 1%, and it's easy to see why merchants are moving to the Terra blockchain. Some might say that this has been done before by other blockchains and crypto systems. They haven't done this though, because Terra does more than just process payments. It also has some cool features that make it stand out from other cryptocurrencies and even other financial goods and services. So think about this question. Terra uses a blockchain, right? And Bitcoin uses a blockchain too. Well, what's the difference? Why would a merchant want to use Terra when they could use Bitcoin? Well, here's the thing. Bitcoin is volatile. The value of Bitcoin, measured in dollars, changes constantly. I mean, all day long. This is important because we usually measure things in dollars, whether that's a bag of candy, a car payment, your rent. Everyone thinks in dollar bills. Because of the problem with instability, people came up with something called stablecoins. Now, if you want to learn more about stablecoins and how they work, we have a whole movie about it. The idea is pretty easy to understand though. Stablecoins are just digital currencies that are tied to real money. People don't want to use something like Bitcoin because its value could change. This is because they have measured their wealth in these paper currencies and use these to buy things most of the time. No one wants to be known as the person who bought pizza with 10,000 Bitcoins. It might have only been worth $20 at the time, but people are afraid that if they spend it, the value might go up. They are also afraid that the price might go down if they agree to buy it. Now, the core idea here is that we want to create a separate channel for one to make payments and another to invest in. We don't want them to be the same thing. We want our money to have a stable value, so that we can expect that it will be worth the same thing tomorrow, and the next day, and hopefully the next year. Terra solves this by using a stablecoin algorithm that allows certain tokens on the network to stay at a single price. So Terra actually has a stablecoin for several different currencies, like the US dollar, which is represented UST, the Korean won, represented as KRT, and the euro, represented as UT. At this point, you know how to use cryptocurrency to make transactions easier, faster, and cheaper than before. Put simply, Terra is trying to bring the benefits of crypto, DeFi, and all of those other decentralized apps, but without the prices that change a lot and are hard to predict. I know what you're thinking, if you've seen any of our other movies. Stable coins based on algorithms have never worked. Terra has worked so far. I'm going to bring up the recent Titan and Iron Finance algorithmic stablecoin crash because it seems similar. Well, when we dig into why they crashed, it was mostly because there was no reason to hold Titan or Iron other than to use them to make more money. And this was essentially a Ponzi scheme in the crypto world. Now, I venture to say that Terra is different because they created a stablecoin with a purpose. In fact, Terra is built around an entire blockchain ecosystem for all the dApps and platforms to use, while Titan was simply a get-rich-quick yield farming opportunity that was pumped and dumped on. And even more so, it was on someone else's blockchain. Have a look at this. Where does Ethereum's wealth come from? Ethereum is valuable because of all the dApps, smart contracts, and systems that work with it. Also, Terra stablecoins are counting on this very same thing. We might be wrong now, and Terra might crash later. Our study, on the other hand, shows that this process has worked pretty well so far, and it does not look at all like the Titan and Iron Finance death spiral. Moving on, let's talk about how they're similar. The Terra ecosystem holds two assets at its heart: the native network coin, which is called LUNA, and the stable coin, which is called UST. Now, the power of LUNA is a bit different than in other projects because it is actually used to maintain the stable value of Terra. But the idea is the same. LUNA is a token that is used to keep the price of Terra at exactly $1. It is also used for network fees. I'll describe how this works. When UST's value isn't equal to a real US dollar, they use LUNA to give people reasons to do certain things that keep the price stable. To do this, they either burn their UST or make more of it to change its worth. People who constantly work to keep the network stable are rewarded with funds. Okay, let's begin. It's easy to figure out if Terra's over $1. Making more of something will always bring down the price of it. That's exactly what they do. You might be thinking, who gets all these extra Terra tokens now? Well, they give them to people who trade in LUNA tokens. They do it, though, to make a small but important profit. Next up, what happens if LUNA goes under $1? How do they bring it back up? Well, if it goes under $1, you can actually trade your Terra coins in for $1 value of LUNA. Again, making a very small but meaningful profit. This means we can basically shrink the circulating supply of Terra, causing the price to go up. Now, you might be wondering the same question that I was wondering. Where does all of this everlasting profit come from? That is a great question, and here's what I found out. It looks like the profit comes from money going into the environment. UST will go up in value as more people buy it. There is a small chance that some of this wealth goes to people who help keep UST stable, though. The price of LUNA will go down, though, when people pull their money out of the environment. That's right, the value comes from the LUNA token holders. This brings up another question. What the heck are you doing holding LUNA? You can hold LUNA for two reasons. One, if you think more people will move into Terra and like its environment. Finally, you need to have LUNA if you want to do anything on the Terra network. LUNA is the local coin that lets you do things, so this immediately makes it very different from the death spiral that Titan and Iron Finance experienced. Nobody had any reason to buy Titan and Iron other than to participate in the Ponzi scheme. Terra gets its value because people can use this stablecoin for stuff all the way across the ecosystem. Speaking of Terra, as mentioned at the beginning, it is more of an ecosystem of many different crypto projects. The goal is to simplify transactions by using stablecoins, allowing the use of financial tools in a manner that is easier for people to comprehend and think in dollar amounts. Terra has two important protocols, which are Anchor and Mirror. In assets, which are copies of other assets, can be made with the Mirror protocol. On the stock market, this is like exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. To put it more simply, this means that you can buy stocks, valuable metals like gold, or even real estate in Europe from anywhere in the world. And you don't need anyone's permission to do this fractionally. There are, however, concerns about the use of fake assets in this instance. Even so, the mirror system makes people more likely to buy LUNA and UST. Then, there's the Anchor protocol, which uses Terra's staking mechanism to create what are essentially savings accounts. Currently, they offer around a 20% APY. By depositing and saving your stable coins, you can earn a certain percentage rate on your coins, similar to traditional savings accounts. This protocol incentivizes people to keep their Terra within the ecosystem. Terra was created using the Cosmos blockchain, which means it's built to integrate with many other blockchains for interoperability. This emphasizes Terra's focus on an entire ecosystem of DeFi products and services. Terra's future looks very bright. Daniel Shin and Du Quan, who graduated from the University of Pennsylvania and Stanford, came up with it. It is aimed at payment handling systems, especially in Asian countries like South Korea and Taiwan. It has worked so far, saving merchants about 1.5% on purchases with Chai, a payment processor that uses Terra. According to 2019, Chai is growing faster than Bitcoin Cash and is now competing with Litecoin in Asian markets. Terra might go in a lot of different ways as an ecosystem. They are, however, currently aiming for a plan that is like an incubator. To put more money into different uses of Terra, like dApps, is essentially what they want to do. In addition, this would greatly boost the number of users. They've got things like Mirror and Anchor, and they're looking to introduce a bunch of other dApps that will get users excited about using the network. Personally, no matter which direction Terra takes, they are going to be a coin and a system that I will keep my eye on. To conclude this video, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. We sincerely hope you learned something new, and, most of all, we hope to see you in the next one.